G'day everybody, it's Rabid. Long time no see. It's been a while since my last video. Hope everybody had a Merry Christmas. Happy holidays of whatever you celebrate at this time of year, if anything. Anyway, hope you're all well. Been a while since I made a video. Real life gets in the way sometimes, and that's always got to take priority over playing games and making videos. Today I'm going to do a bit of a tutorial for Access Game Factory because I am going to be making a game, or I have started making a game in Unity. And Access Game Factory is a third-party software that makes designing levels for, or designing stuff for Unity much easier. It's basically like using, I don't know, PaintShop Pro versus Photoshop. You know, they're both pretty good programs, but PaintShop Pro has a much easier to use interface. So if you're a one-man team or you're interested in getting into game development, this could be a bit of software for you to look at, but I'll do a full review on the program later on. Today I'm doing a tutorial, if you haven't noticed from this video's title, on how to export assets from Unity to use in Access Game Factory. Now, I have to make it very clear that this is for the premium DLC add-on for Access Game Factory. If you do not own that DLC, you will not be able to use the exporting options that I'm about to show you. So yeah, keep that in mind. So yeah, if you've got the basic version of Access Game Factory, you either stop watching now or you keep watching, and it might show you why it's a good reason to get this DLC. I recommend getting this DLC on sale because at the moment it is something like $80. That's for the DLC, not for Access Game Factory, to unlock this stuff. $80 US is a lot of money to be paying, I think, for what it is. But getting it on sale, I definitely recommend. So up to you and your finances. Anyway, let's get on with the show. We're not going to be looking at Access Game Factory now. We need to load up Unity. So let's get that happening. There we go. All right, we're going to create a new project here because we're going to be doing this all as if we haven't done anything yet. So I'm going to call this AGF export and click project and let Unity do its thing. You might want to close Access Game Factory yourself if you're low on RAM or got a lower end computer. Now we've got a new project, a new scene, all blank. Got an empty assets folder. And if we look under hierarchy, we've got the main camera and directional light and nothing else. Now what we want to do is import the AGF packager. So we go down here. We start off with assets up here on the file menu. Go down to import package, custom package. We navigate to the Access Game Factory folder, which is usually located under Steam. Steam Apps Common, Access Game Factory, usually where your games and things are. If you look over here, 7 Days to Die, well, there's all my games. So yeah, Access Game Factory, navigate, and in the main directory, if you have the premium DLC, just to really stress that. And here we have the AGF Asset Packager .unity package. This is what we want. You can either select it and click open, or as I'm about to do, double click it. Now this will decompress the package, and then it'll open a window giving us an option to import, same as any Unity asset that you're importing. So here we go. We've got all the packager here, everything it's going to import. I don't know if you need all of this stuff, but for the sake of this video, I'm going to just leave it as it is. By default, it'll have everything selected, so you don't got to worry about the all or none. And then it's just a matter of clicking import. This will take a minute or two, so I shall do a jump cut. There we go. See you in a few. Okay, the importing is done. Took about 2 minutes. So now, if we look under project tab here, we can now see we have an asset package scene. Don't worry about that. AGF asset packager folder and AGF sample assets folder, which has all the models and crap that are imported in. Okay. Now what we want to do is we want to get the assets we want imported in. This will be the same for skyboxes, terrains, audio, whatever you want to put it into AGF. Keep in mind though, you really need to have the correct formatting and everything for your projects. So like it's got to be models have to be set up the way that AGF wants them, textures, all that sort of thing. But I'll let you look into that elsewhere, or I might do it in another video. For now, I'm just going to do the basics. So I'm going to go to the asset store here and import a package of models that we're going to export to Access Game Factory. So bear with me and I will get that imported in. In this case here, I'm just going to go to the asset store, slowly connecting. Now, again, depending on how big the assets are that you're trying to import. Now, say if you're just importing a single model, this will be very, very quick importing. But if you're going to do something like this sci-fi pack here, where is it? Sci-fi. Yeah, this package here, the sci-fi style modular pack I'm going to import. This will take some time because it is a rather large pack of models. So yeah, I'm just going to click the import, but we shall jump cut, and I will come back once again when it is done. Okay, we've got my pack installed. As you can see here, got all the models, materials, prefabs, and everything like that. Now, we only have to add now one thing to this scene, and that is this. The asset packager settings prefab. Nothing else. We need to grab this and we need to drag it over to the scene and we need to drop it in. I don't think it really matters where it is, but some people who with OCD might want to make sure it's at 000, even though, as I said, I don't believe it's necessary, but we'll do it anyway for the OCD people out there. Okay, but yes, it's very important. You'll have no object, it'll be selectable, and you'll get the movement sliders and things, but you will not be able to see anything, but that's okay. You'll also notice we now have an Access Game Factory menu setting up here too. That just gives you the same options as we'll get with the right click that you're about to look at. Now, yeah, this applies to everything. I think, as I said earlier, that if you're importing models, terrain, anything like that, this is how you do it. Okay, so you go to where your assets are, the folders that they're in, you right click it. You'll see the Build AGF Asset Pack, and there's your options. You want warehouse if you're doing models, you want terrain for if you're doing terrain, vegetation, skybox, audio. Okay, so pretty straightforward. So we're doing a warehouse package because it's models, so we click warehouse. Now, something very important to do is you want to go to this folder here, Asset Packs, because you want to save your asset packs to this folder. If you do not save to this folder or you do not have your package in this folder, Access Game Factory will not be able to read it. I might as well just keep calling it AGF for the sake of ease. But yeah, so make sure you're in the Asset Packs folder here. And as we can see here, it's already got something named based on that prefab that's in there. But the important thing is here is the extensions. _w.unity3d. Okay, W stands for warehouse. As you saw, I clicked warehouse. If you click skybox, the W would be an S. You must have it set up correctly here. So if you rename it and you leave that out, so it just says, oh, asset packager settings, it won't work. So as you can see, everything's got a T, an A, and S with an underline. It's very important to remember that. I will show you. So if I right click this and go skybox, which will not work because I don't have a skybox in here. But as you can see now, that underline W has been replaced with an underline S. So yeah, keep that in mind when you're doing the exporting. So let's build an asset pack again, go to warehouse, make sure, as you can see, it's no longer in the assets pack folder, so select that, and let's rename this, and let's make it so we can make it easier to see, a Rabid test. Okay, so now we've got that named, we have the correct extension there. We just click save. Now again, this is going to take some time. You will get no indicator of progress, no loading bars or anything. You will just get a spinning, loading icon on your mouse pointer. So and again, another jump cut, and we will come back once it's done. So let's hit save. It'll get underway, and as you said, you can see the loading circle there. All right, we'll be back again in a few seconds. Alrighty, the exporting is now done. So what we want to do is navigate to the asset pack folder and double check that it has actually exported the packages that we wanted. So go to the Access Game Factory folder. I will show you in a moment. Where is it? There we go. Asset packs there. Okay, so if I bring my Explorer over here, we will see under the asset packs, I now have a Rabid test w.unity 3D and this one with the manifest thing, which means that it's successfully exported. So let's close that. Okay. Now the other thing you'll also notice is there is an AGF intermediate folder now with a warehouse folder underneath it, and that is all the assets that got exported, but they're now inside the project file. Now, here's a little tip for you that I worked out on my own, because some assets I was trying to export, it just would not make a package. I'm guessing there was an asset in the packages I was trying to export that weren't compatible with AGF. Now, what I did find though is, regardless of whether the package got created or not, I always got this AGF intermediate folder. And we've got warehouse because obviously I've just exported the warehouse option for models. Now, if your package doesn't get created, what I've found is you go here to the intermediate folder, and if you right click on there and then do the build asset package again, it should successfully export the package, because this folder here will leave out the crap. Apparently it'll leave out the stuff that doesn't want to export, leave behind the stuff that will export, and you'll be good to go with the new package. So yeah, if your package doesn't export if it doesn't export doing it the way I just shown, then come back into this folder after you've done the export, right click it and package again, and you should hopefully get a successful export this time around. Alrighty, so now that's done, we need to get it into AGF, so let's close this up. We don't want to save, we'll just close it. Okay, so load up AGF, go into World Builder. This also applies to Constructor if you want to do prefabs. So this will be exactly the same thing. So whatever I'm about to show you here in World Builder, we're doing this so I can test being able to get the assets into the level, make sure they're working. So, but yeah, if you want to do prefabs, just go into Constructor and follow what I'm doing here in World Builder. So we load up World Builder. World Builder. I'm going to load up an existing project I've got going. Yep, again, if you pause quickly, you'll be able to see some of the stuff I'm working on. So let's open an existing scene. Loading, loading, loading. Okay, so levels loaded up. Now if you look over here, by default this is what you get in AGF. You get the characters for scale, you get the default building shapes, special icons like, you know, respawn and stuff, and the voxels and little else. What we want to do is we want to import the package. So there's a couple of ways you can do this. This will apply in different areas. Like for example, you've got the warehouse over here, which basically covers models. But say you want to import a skybox, you go over here to skybox over on the left here, and double click the texture, and you get the skybox select. But you'll see you get manage assets. Click that, and it brings up the asset manager. But we are importing the models, so we will just stick with the warehouse over here for now. So same thing, click manage assets. Let's go to warehouse because it's a warehouse package. And that's where you have the underscore W. I guess if it was underscore S, it wouldn't show up in here. But we can see here, a Rabid test, the file I did. But you'll see it's all grayed out. The loaded stuff will appear bright white like here's the default. And so it's as simple as clicking the plus icon here next to it in this box. You get this loading thing. And as you can see, now it's changed to a minus sign, but my package is now highlighted. And it's exactly the same if you want to load up the other AGF packages and things. If you click it and stuff doesn't appear in the warehouse correctly, just hit refresh here and that'll refresh it and show stuff in the list. But I haven't had any problems yet. So now that's done, we can close that. Now if we click here, we have a heap more options. If we navigate through here, there we go, we've got the sci-fi models that I imported. As these models here are very small, you won't see them in the preview windows, but as we get to the larger items, you'll see they show up just fine. Okay, so there we go. I've now got all the corridors, everything from the sci-fi pack I imported. But we need to make sure that they're going to work and that their collision and everything is working properly. So there we go, drag it in, and voila. Oops, everything works. It's rotating and stuff as it's meant to. And we can click and drop them around everywhere. Oops, that's embedded because we've got the grid here where AGF, the grid. But also as well, the grid options will work the way, let's go snap to centers, yeah, snap to centers, select that again, and we should be able to, there you go, so now I can line everything up nicely, so everything works as AGF should normally work. The only other thing that remains now is to test it out. So let's put a spawn in, because even though things can appear correctly in the editor, we want to test that colliders are working. But yeah, let's put down a few more of the assets. Like, you know, there's a table. The table will be floating, and thing. But oh yes, something important to remember. Oops, let's close that. Is not you will not always get everything successfully import. Like, see these doors here, they look correctly up here, but if you look at the preview windows, that door that's selected, you see the door but not the door frame. And if we drag it in here, you just get the door, no door frame. So that's an animated object because the doors open and close. So you might want to stick with doing just static items for now, like the corridors and stuff like that. But yeah, so go through and check. This is why we're doing this test here, and also go through and check that everything's appearing okay. So now I've got the start spot there. Let's get rid of the object selector. We'll go to external FPS player, because as you can see, we've got a whole bunch of different players that we'll do testing in. They have different configs. In this case, we're doing a first-person shooter, so we'll have a hand with a gun. Again, depending on your system, will determine how long this stuff takes to load. And as we can see, the models are loaded correctly. The lighting, like specular maps for lighting, those lights are pretty bright the way they should be. And I should be able to not run through them. So colliders are working okay. The glass is working. It's nice and transparent, but as you can see, it is there because I'm shooting it. There's our floating table. Ah, no, I can't jump on it. Yep, it'll clip through that because it's on the ground and get stuck while we're at it. So yeah, that is how you export objects from Unity into AGF. Pretty simple and straightforward. All you need to do is a bit of time. So be prepared to go make some copies and things depending on how much you were trying to export. I hope this has helped you some. Obviously, if you're using AGFPRO, it'll help. And I'll be making some more tutorials covering some other things that I've sort of been working out on my own. As well as doing a review of AGF in general, and I'm going to be also reviewing and doing some tutorials on other other Unity assets that I've purchased to help me develop my game, as well as I will hopefully start covering the game I'm making, what it's about, and how it's coming along. So you can keep tabs on my progress and development as it goes. And no, I'm not asking for any money or anything like that. Maybe at a later date, but I want to have at least an 80% working game, because I hate these people that come along with just an idea and expect money, because you can do this stuff without cash. It's just having time. Of course, you know, it helps to have that cash so you can pay your bills and things, but yeah, that's just me. That's how I'm doing it. So yeah, I will do a Kickstarter at a later date if I can come up with something worthwhile asking people money for. So all right, thank you very much for watching. If this has been any help for you, if you just enjoyed the video, like and subscribe, all that usual YouTube stuff that I hate saying and doing. Or be a rebel and don't. But yeah, stay tuned for the next video, and I will see you around, and hopefully I'll get back. I know I'm always saying this, but hopefully I'll be a bit more consistent with my video productions in the future. Again, thank you very much for watching. Rabid out. You have a great day, night, whatever, and keep on gaming and having fun. Bye-bye.